Mindless eating. Oh my goodness. Who doesn't mindlessly eat? Have you ever put a bag of potato chips in front of you and turned around and it was gone? Okay, that's one form of mindless eating. Another form of mindless eating is not leaving yourself enough time to eat something healthy. And those are some of the things I'm going to talk about tonight, give you a few strategies to help you with your mindless eating, because we can eat thousands of calories, extra calories during the course of the month. So I'm going to give you some strategies on how to stop all of that. My name is CJ Johnson. My background is actually in the golf industry. I had a wonderful corporate career. It was great fun, but I ended up weighing well over 250 pounds. Let me show you a picture of me. Yes, that's me, 250 pounds, wore a size 20. Changed my life around. I'm about to be 55. I've managed to keep my weight off now for almost 15 years, 14 years, 100 pounds. And keeping it off has not been easy, and it certainly has changed a lot since I was 40, which is what brings me here. I became a health and wellness coach because I knew that there were so many people my age who were having challenges staying fit and staying healthy and athletic. And that's what Age Well with CJ does. And that's why we're here every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Give me just 1 second. I'm getting my tech all set, which sometimes is no easy feat. And of course, tonight was definitely not an exception to that. Just want to make sure that if you have questions, I can answer them. So if you do have a question, go ahead and put it down below. Let me know. Do you mindlessly eat, or is there a food that you mindlessly eat, or maybe a place? Like, how about movie popcorn? Talk about a place to mindlessly eat, right? Movie popcorn can be a big one. So what place do you mindlessly eat? Hey John, how are you tonight? Give me a little thumbs up. Yeah, mindless eating. And of course, now with the 4th of July is actually just around the corner, 4th of July week, it's pretty easy to mindlessly eat on vacation. There are just so many places that we can do it. So tonight, that's what I want to do, is I want to give you some strategies, some things that will help you to stop that habit. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure that you put them down below. But here are these strategies on how to stop mindlessly eating and get rid of thousands of calories. So, strategy number 1, breakfast. It all starts at the beginning of the day. Start with a good breakfast. You want to make sure that you have something healthy to eat in the house. Studies have shown that people who do not eat breakfast tend to be more overweight than people who do eat breakfast. So that's number 1. Plan a breakfast. But number 2, plan a healthy and a well-rounded breakfast. And if you look at this plate, there's a variety of different things on it. There's protein. You want to make sure that that's part of your breakfast. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. There are some carbs on this plate, have a little fresh fruit, a little vegetables, things like that. But you want to make sure that it's a well-rounded, healthy meal. So make sure that you get breakfast in. So that's number 1. But when you're doing that, number 2, what you need to do with breakfast, and not just breakfast, but you need to do this with every single meal, is add protein sources to your meal. So most often when we think of protein, we think of beef and chicken and fish and stuff like that. Okay, lean protein, first of all, is number 1. So maybe instead of beef, think buffalo. That's a little bit leaner. Chickens and turkeys, things like that. Definitely fish is one of those things that you can add. Protein sources, eggs. Now, if you happen to be a vegan, like I am, or a vegetarian, you may want to consider legumes. Adding those. Nuts. I personally like tempeh, which is a fermented soy. I also like seitan. So there are a lot of different protein sources that you can eat and add to every meal. My goal for each meal is to have 30 grams of protein in each and every meal. Now, one of the other things that I do is I add a little bit of protein powder to different meals, especially like one of those for me is breakfast. I do almond milk yogurt, which doesn't have a lot of protein in it. So I add some protein powder to it. The almond milk yogurt's a little bit runny and the consistency is a little thin, but by the time I put the almond milk yogurt, the protein powder into it. I have a really nice yogurt that's full of protein. So what's one of the things that you like to eat for breakfast? First of all, let me ask you this. Do you eat protein for breakfast? Let me know. Put it down there. Hey, Rick, how are you? Yes, you're right. Mindless eating. It's kind of crazy. So stay prepared. Put 30 grams of protein in your meal, because in each meal, because if you do, you're ultimately going to eat less calories. You're going to eat less mindlessly and eat more mindfully. Okay? All right, so protein. On to the next one. Healthy things to cook and healthy sources to cook. We need to make it super easy, especially considering that it's summertime. It can be really hard to stay up on our healthy habits. So grilling out is a great one. But most of the time when we grill out, we think sausages and hamburgers and things like that. So going back to the last slide, think of those lean meats, salmon, some type of fish on the grill. How about some shrimp? Generally a little bit lower in calories. Those types of foods on the grill. Now combine them with veggies. Doing veggie kebabs or zucchini, leeks, peppers, roasted peppers on the grill. There are so many different foods that you can cook on the grill besides hamburgers, hot dogs, and corn. Let your imagination run wild. In fact, one of the things is kebabs. I have a friend from Turkey, and we were talking last week. I asked him what was one of the foods that he missed the most from home compared to living in the United States. And he says, we just do not make kebabs like they make. So I'm like, that's interesting. I'm going to give those a try on the grill shortly. So think kebabs, but again, think a well-rounded meal, and it's something that can be easy and relatively fast, takes away some of that mindless eating. Another way to prepare quick meals, InstaPots. So an InstaPot, if you don't already have one, an InstaPot is multiple kitchen tools all in one, kind of like a pressure cooker meets crock pot, kind of all day long. So you can fix a meal in the InstaPot, and hence the name Insta. It works relatively quickly. Meals in the InstaPot tend to get done really fast. So if you have a way to prepare a meal quickly, be it on the grill or be it in an InstaPot, you're going to be less likely to mindlessly eat because you've got something there and you've got something healthy. There are so many places on the web right now where you can find InstaPot recipes, and depending upon the size of the pot that you purchase, it can be a 6-quart to a 10-quart. I don't think you really want to go below 6, even if there's only 2 people inside of your house. And cost-wise, you're probably talking somewhere between $65 and $160. You can get as fancy as you want. It's like any kitchen cabbage. You can spend as much on it as you want to. But basically, an 8 to 10-quart InstaPot would be a wonderful way to get you started. And again, if you're able to eat something fast and you're able to put it together healthy, you have less a chance of mindlessly eating. So think quicker cooking methods. Okay, so we thought about what we want to eat, some of the foods we want to eat to take away some of the mindless eating. Second, think quicker cooking methods. Now we're on to things that you can add to stay healthy and places that you can go to get them. So farmers markets. This time of year, there are farmers markets all over the place with healthy, fresh vegetables. You can take those, you can put them on the grill, you can do them in the InstaPot. As an example, tonight for John, I have got some tomatoes and mozzarella with some fresh basil, so a little bit of balsamic, so a very nice light salad for him to enjoy this evening. A little bit of protein from the cheese. Don't use too much cheese, and it's a low-fat mozzarella, so kind of keep it on that side to keep some of the calories down. But that comes from the farmer's market. So look there for different things that you can make, and certainly those things are also real reasonably priced. Another way to keep from mindless eating is to have it delivered to your house. And what I'm thinking of is CSA. So if you're not familiar with CSA, it stands for Community Supported Agriculture. Essentially, what you do is you buy a subscription to this farm, and weekly the farm will send you a box of vegetables. Whatever happens to be freshest on that farm is what's going to arrive at your doorstep on a weekly basis. It's fresh, it's usually organic, it's homegrown. There's a variety of vegetables that come inside of it. One of the things that I love is most CSA boxes come with recipes. So even if you don't know how to cook that particular vegetable, you've got some great recipes provided for you so that you can learn how to work with it. And maybe some of these you're going to know, and some of these will be an experiment for you. But CSA boxes are a great way to keep home cooked meals in your busy schedule during the summertime, because we're running around a lot. It's hard to get to the grocery store. Lord knows, I live in a tourist community. It's the 4th of July week. I am not going anywhere near the grocery store this week. So having those things in my house will keep me from mindlessly eating on other stuff. Now, if you do need to go to the grocery store, you can maybe take a couple of shortcuts when you get there. Cutting and chopping vegetables can be very time consuming, and let's just face it, some people hate it. Some people just hate it. And you're right, it's time consuming. That's the most time consuming part of cooking for me. So look at your grocery store. There are usually sections with chopped vegetables right there for you. Now, granted, you're going to pay more for them, but is it really paying more? You pay more at the grocery store, but you maybe pay less in terms of gaining weight, feeling poorly. Your health stays good when you're eating fruits and vegetables, so make it convenient for yourself. If you've got these chopped veggies right there, there's no excuse to deviate from a meal plan. Sometimes it's really easy to say, you know what, I just do not have time to chop those veggies. Well, if they're already chopped for you, you're going to stay healthy and you're going to stop mindlessly eating. So making it convenient. Another way to make it convenient is maybe you don't want to go to the store at all. How about a meal box? HelloFresh, or there's a lot of local meal companies that provide you with some great meal boxes and some things that you can do. John and I we went to a friend's house a few months back, and we had a HelloFresh party where all the couples cooked a different HelloFresh. I have to tell you, it was very easy to cook. The food was good. It was healthy. It was lean. It was done with just a little bit of oil, no heavy sauces. So they were very good. You can also order boxes that are low-calorie boxes, low-fat boxes, but since these meals have healthy ingredients in them, you have to cook them right away. There's very little prep time. These can be done relatively quickly, so all you have to do is put them together. And by having that meal right there, you're going to make the choices to eat a little bit more healthy. So those are the things I've got for you tonight. Make sure you're eating protein with your meals. It's at least 30 grams of protein inside every meal. Make sure that you are doing something quick, grilling out, InstaPots. Make sure to plan quick meals, especially during the summertime when we're busy and we're on the go. And don't forget convenience foods. CSA boxes, farmers markets, having it delivered to your doorstep, or buying it chopped from the grocery store. If you make it easy to do, most of us will do it. That will keep us healthier, and that keeps us from mindlessly eating. So as we finish up tonight, there's my little review. Eat the protein, plan ahead, and use those convenience items. Now, just for sticking around to the end, I've got one of my special things. These are the 25 tricks that have helped me to stay fit without feeling overwhelmed through the years. So you stayed here to the end. You want to jump on over to agewellwithcj.com, 25 tricks /25 tricks. And this is a freebie for you. This is the best stuff. This is stuff that I use every day. Now, if you have any questions, put it down below. Not seeing any questions. All right. So next week, actually, I won't be here. I'm taking a vacation. I'm going to be gone for the next 2 weeks. Count them, 2. I'm going back to Northern Michigan, and I don't know how much bandwidth I have there. I haven't tried out the internet, so I'm not planning on doing any broadcasts from there, but you might see me on a few Facebook Lives, just checking in with you and make sure that you are getting a healthy time this summer. So have a great 4th of July. I'll be seeing you back here again on, let's see, that brings me back here on July 24th. So a couple of weeks. I'll see you back here then. In the meantime, together we can train smart, live bold, and age well. Good night, everybody.